Welcome to Pop Chat. My name is Annette Tarpley. I'm the founder of the Passion of Poetry. And today I'm delighted to have my special guest as Epifany. Welcome, Epifany.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you. Just learned about you recently. You're having an event soon, a poets event that's coming up in January, which is I've been wanting to do for 2 years. So I came like this close both years to renting. I had this horrible vision in my mind that I was going to be by myself, sitting up somewhere in the mountains or something. So, but what I want to do is I want everyone to learn about you. So I'm going to give the stage to you, and I want you to tell us about Epiphany so we can know more about your loveliness. So I'm going to give the stage to you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Poetess Epiphany. I am a plethora of things. First and foremost, I am a mom. I'm a spoken word artist, and I'm also a playwright. And I'm also the CEO and founder of Women United We Stand organization. I also have another organization that's under that, which is called Young Cooks for a Day, which works with underserved children in schools and in different communities, teaching them cooking techniques and little meals and things. And it also helps those that are less fortunate to receive meals, as well as learn fellowship and how to serve their community by giving back to the homeless as well. And I'm also a manager of 3 artists. So I kind of have my hands full in a lot of things these days. But yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Oh, your mic is muted.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if you can lip read, and apparently you can't. I try to be good about doing that, but I've not done a pop chat in a couple weeks or so I'm getting a little rusty. So you sound so interesting that you have your feet in many waters and you do a lot, and it warms my heart that you do so much and give back to the community. What you're doing with children and the cooking and so forth is a wonderful thing. So you are to be commended for that.
Thank you.
So congratulations.
Yeah, with the organization, when COVID hit, of course, it has stopped us from doing, as many of us, it stopped us from doing a lot. So I had to take a hiatus from it. So now that I've been able to get back to a place of grounding and getting back out here with performing and everything else, I was like, okay, I have to start this back up because we all know government wise, they have cut out funding for a lot of these programs and after school programs. So when the schools, reached out and heard about the program, they asked if I would team with them. So that was something I missed doing. So now I'm just getting ready to start all of that back up so that, the children have things to do after school and as well as on, weekends as well. So it's something that's definitely near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, definitely. That's wonderful. I always love when people do things like that. I try to give in other ways as well. It's very interesting because I'm so used to giving, and it sounds like you're a giver too.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of weeks ago, I was coming home from work and I was driving through a Dunkin' Donuts line, and I got up to pay for I don't know, it was breakfast. It was like $10 and something. Got up to pay for it. And the lady looks over and she says, "You don't have to worry about the person that was ahead of you and paid for your meal." And I just got choked up and I started to cry. Because I never have, I'm always the one that gives, and it's just very humbling, when somebody does something like that. And she says, and the strange thing was, is he looked like he was about 19 years old. And, typically you don't think of, young kids doing that kind of thing, but I just thought it was a wonderful thing. So thank you. If you ever watch this out there, whoever you were, that was a very kind thing to do. I think it's great that people do random acts of kindness. And I was shocked when it was me that's one. So that was really cool.
I've
But
done it.
I'm sorry, darling.
I said I've
Go
done
ahead.
that as well as someone had did it for me the previous car, so I just did the same thing and told them to bless the next person behind me. So it's a chain reaction, and when somebody does something nice for you, you can in turn do something nice for someone else. So
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it feels good when you do it. So, but I was very grateful for that. I'm very anxious to hear you. So, if you would be so gracious as to gift us with one of your poems, that would be wonderful.
Ooh, what am I? Let's see. I probably should have asked this before with
Are you talking about language?
right.
Okay, well, we're a little conservative, but I don't want to put too many stops on you, so you do your thing. I mean, just as long as it isn't heavy duty. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I could start light, so I can. I like doing a little opener or a little teaser, as you will. This piece is called Undefined. Thinking of an equation to define this man that I know, yet simple mathematics just won't do. We all know that 1 + 0 = 1, right? Well, in his mind, he won't let 1 + 1 = 2. If the slope of a vertical line is undefined, then how challenged is he? If his prize lies beyond horizontal lines, will his desire to be happy ignite a perimeter breach? As I watch him, each move has calculated steps. He's determined to stay outside of the norm, unable to grasp ordinary concepts. His egotistical demeanor comes with a statistical approach, meaning the chances of him settling down, slim, pretty much a no. Now, how does one define a man as such when he gives unclear BS boundaries that can never be touched? 1 minute, he's loving you. The next, he's loving her. Now multiply both of y'all by 2. Now you're stuck trying to figure out this quadratic formula. If V over P is the rational theory of f of x, where V is a factor of a constant term and P is a leading coefficient. Now, I think I lost you, so let me break that down. You see, V, her vagina, is a factor of constant sex. And P, his penis, is the leading coefficient that started this mess. And the reason they're both part of the f of x theorem is they both yield positive and negative results, meaning nobody's ever really winning. So if the slope of a vertical line is undefined, then just how challenged is he? When his prize lies beyond horizontal lines, will his desire to be happy ever ignite a perimeter breach? Undefined. Nope. I can't read lips. I sucked at that.
You know what? You know what? I'm not gonna mute myself anymore. I put my dog in his room, and if I cough or something, it's just gonna have to happen. So one day I went a long time on a show that I was by myself, muted. So it was not very fun. So I said I love that. That was great. And
Thank you.
then my next question was, you memorized it.
Mhm.
So how many ones do you how many pieces do you have memorized?
Because I'm a performance poet, I tend to memorize just about all of my poems. Um, that's just how I've always been. I'm able to tap into them and feel them better that way. And people can feel, my poems that way more if I memorize. I do read some poems that I know that I'm probably not going to perform, or those that are like really, really deep and intense. But other
Yeah.
than that, most of my poems that I write, I tend to memorize.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You must be much younger than me because I only have about 4 memorized. I think that if I took enough time, I could, really memorize more, but I think it takes a lot to be able to do that. So kudos to you.
Thank
It makes for such a better performance when you can do that.
you.
So, how long have you been doing this?
Well, poetry, actually, I've been writing poetry ever since I was in 7th grade. Yeah. Um, and from there, performing wise, I've been performing for, I'll say, this will be coming up on my 11th year performing. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. You do a marvelous job. So,
Thank
when I grow up, I want to be just like you. So, be able to do that.
Oh,
Do you
look,
ever do,
the road to get here was definitely hell. Trust me.
do you ever do freestyle? Just kind of boom, just off
Um,
the cuff?
yeah, I do. I do. I used
I
with
want, I want to learn how to do that too. I think you should. Are they going to teach that poetry retreat? Maybe I should go there.
yes. See, you
I
gotta
would love that.
come, and we definitely. You want to know how I actually learned that was I started in North Carolina. I used to go to an open mic called the Blue Flame. And that's how I actually just really got into really wanting to freestyle. They would,
Yeah,
to calm everybody's nerves, they would
yeah,
do an opener to where everybody had to say a line to go with the
yeah,
next line. And so every time I would go, I would be nervous and I would do a line. And then in my head, I would always be thinking of something else to do next. And that's
yeah.
how I just started liking to do things like that. Um, with
How
free,
would you like? How would you like to spend 5 minutes, and you and I can try and do that right now? You like
we're
you
gonna bounce off each
Yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah. Like we're having a conversation. We'll have a conversation.
Okay.
Um, um, maybe I don't know what the scenario is. Let's say I'm your best friend and I've done you wrong and you're upset or whatever.
Oh, I got it. Look, I can't smile off this. Then hold on.
I know. So let's just try it. It'll probably be a disaster, but that's okay. We don't care. It's a no judgment zone. So
Let's see. It's
so
a conservative show, and you made me mad. Whoo. Okay.
yeah, I made you mad.
Okay.
We were at the poet retreat and you have put down most of the money for it. And I just put down my little deposit and I show up and I took the best room there. And that was supposed to be your room. There you go.
Ooh. Okay. So, you gonna start it, or you?
No, 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 because I need to learn from you.
Okay. So my friend at the retreat put down a deposit, and that's it. And I had to cover the rest, and you took the best room. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a page out of my good friend's book. Shout out to Myra's Monarch. To my friend at the retreat that decided to take the best room. You only paid your deposit, I paid the rest, but you thought you was the queen of that room. You didn't ask me, which one you wanted to pick. You just went in and thought that you was being really slick, didn't ask me anything, decided to get rich with your tongue and tried to go above and beyond and say that you felt like this was yours, but it wasn't. Now we have a problem. I'm about to call my cousins and we will handle this business because I'm about my money. Now we can handle it the easy way or things are about to get funny.
You invited me to this retreat. I thought I was your special guest, but I guess not. So I just assumed that, perhaps I would get the best room there. Is that wrong? Was I wrong in my assumption? You being the giving and kind person that you are, I just assumed that you'd want me to have the grand room of all with the jacuzzi and everything else. Was I wrong in my assumption? And do I really owe you money? Or maybe you got your records wrong? I think I actually paid that money, but tell me if I'm wrong, and what can I do to make it up to you? Because I do value your friendship.
Let's see, you value our friendship. I wonder how long that will last. Because the way I see it, it lasted when you didn't pay the rest of that cash. But I'm willing to give a second chance because I am nice. But what I want to know is, how do we accomplish this and keep everything in sync when there are other rooms available that you could have picked, but you chose this one without asking? So now I'm confused because we're stuck trying to figure out what to do. I didn't ask for a roommate, so I'm not about to invade anyone's space. And you came with all your bags. So I'm wondering, what are we to do next? I mean, yes, we are friends. Well, at least I didn't think that would never end, but now you just got caught because you said you thought you paid. The records would say that that has been determined to be a lie, but nice try. Um, and I don't want to, I don't want to make things ugly and bring everyone else into our mess. So I really would like to handle it so I can de-stress, because after all, it is a women's retreat. I'm trying to stay blessed. And we doing yoga and meditation. So I want to clear all this negative energy. Inhale, exhale, and let's handle our business.
I got you. You're right. You're exactly right. And after taking a look, I didn't pay you the rest. So I owe you that. And I haven't slept in the bed yet. I've just put my makeup out in the bathroom and things like that. I think I'm going to clean it up, let you have that room. Then I'm going to let you decide which room you want me to have, or if I need to sleep on the couch or whatever it may be. Because, having the luxurious place to myself, I'm going to be miserable knowing that there's resentment behind it and that I've hurt you. So, my friend, it's yours. You tell me where I can sleep and rest my head, and let's just make peace.
You know what? I'll do you one even better. It's a women's retreat. No stress involved. You're my friend. We're going to share this together. Because one thing that I don't want is to allow any money or any type of entanglement come in between us. So I can put my big girl panties on and tell you I'm not making any fuss. This room is king size, so it's big enough for both of us. And maybe you didn't have it. I decided to cover the cost. That's what sisterhood is all about. Besides, I am the host and I'm also the boss. So my love for you goes unmatched. I will proudly share my room with you. No strings attached. I love you, my sister.
Oh, love it. So just in case people are popping in and don't know what we're doing, think like maybe might be having a little spat here between us. We're not. We're just trying to do some freestyle stuff, which I haven't done before.
You did
So,
a great job, by the way. You did an awesome job.
oh well, for first time, it's like fake it till you make it, right? so, I gave you a project, and you came up with a title for a poem for both of us, and I can't wait till you share yours. going to give the stage to you, darling, and you share your poem and tell everybody what the title is.
Okay. So the title was Grace. So I titled mine, Give Yourself Grace. And this one, we did this on the fly, so not memorized yet. So, in the shadows of a toxic hue, a soul trapped, unsure what to do. Beneath the weight of a heavy sky, it's time to spread your wings, learn to fly. Grant yourself the grace to let go from a situation that pulls you low. In the mirror, find the strength to face, the courage to leave, to embrace your space. Like a weary ship seeking a shore, your heart yearns for something much more. Amidst the storm and the tempest face, whisper to yourself, I deserve grace. In the silence of that inner plea, feel the echoes of self-compassion set free. Unfurl the sails, chart a new course, choosing your well-being as the driving force. No longer tethered to the chains of despair. Step into sunlight, breathe the fresh air. In the art of departure, find your own pace. Give yourself the freedom, the solace of grace. For leaving is not defeat, but a victory earned. In the lessons of departure, growth is discerned. So walk away, head held high in your own space. A journey has just begun with the gift of you giving yourself grace.
That was absolutely beautiful. I loved it. Send that to me later and I'll publish it. I have a online publishing site I just opened up not too long ago, and I'd love to publish that on our site. It's called Pop Star Poetry. Yeah, send that to me later. Mine, and there's so many things to do with grace. And for some reason, my grandma must have been in my head today, because I wrote a little thing paying homage to her. So, so here you go, Grandma. She died a couple of years ago. She's almost 102 years old. But let me put you up a little bit here so I can see it. All right. Grace. When I ponder about grace, what it means, and who in my life embodied it in its true essence, one name comes to mind: Marjorie. My grandmother was the definition of grace, all in one, in all of its glorious forms. Her middle name may have been Fern, but she had the elegance of a rose. Yet she bore no thorns. A deep red rose symbolizing her love and her devoted persuasion for family and friends. A hardworking woman, always there to lend a helping hand, even when her hands of over 100 years of age were fragile and ached. She would readily comfort and caress another needing consoling, even in the depths of her own despair. She selflessly would overlook her needs and her wants in an intuitive reconciliation, for she innately detected that others had needs that far surpassed her own. My grandmother taught me the definition of grace. My grandmother was the epitome of grace. God took notice of Marjorie Wingert, for she lived a life showered by his grace. He found favor in her, and in her he saw the essence of grace.
Yes.
It's for you, Grandma. Thank you.
That was awesome. That was nice. That was very beautiful.
Yeah, I miss my grandma. We have some comments, so we're going to go look at a few of those. And it says, hey, Epifany, I made it. Please make sure that you sign your comments so we know who you are, because when we're live, unless you've changed your settings, you're just another Facebook user. So please sign each comment after you make your comment. Hi, Eva's in the house. Eva is, do you know Eva?
Uh,
Eva, Eva Marie Ann Kegley. She is a great poet and writer. She's from Iowa, where I'm from
oh,
originally. And she is now the admin of Trending Poets. And she made me admin. She's the head chieftain, though.
okay. Well, hi, Miss Eva. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, Eva. So, and then we have Cyber Cash, another one of my admin for the Passion of Poetry.
Okay.
Please forgive me. I'm getting over the big C. I'm on the tail end of it. I should have brought something to drink down here. That would have been smart. And then we have Interesting Show, and we have Nothing. Beautiful Poem. I think that's yours. And then Awesome Poem. And then
Thank you.
is it Bran is here or was it Brian? I don't know.
It's Brand. That's Brand. Hey, Brandy.
It's Brian.
That's Brand for Brandy.
Oh, okay. Hey, Bran. Nice to have you here. I'm going to have you do another piece while I get something to drink real quick.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you the stage again. I'll hear you because I'll be in earshot.
Okay. Ooh, another piece. Let's see. Let's see. So I did. So I am a performance poet, but one of the pieces that I do, as you can see behind me, I won this Black for Left Unspoken for being um, indie artist with a poetic film. So it's on my YouTube page under Epifany's Imagination, Left Unspoken. I advocate for childhood, abuse and also against childhood molestation. So the piece is a very sensitive piece. So trigger warning for anybody that needs to hear that. But this is called Left Unspoken. Being told at the age of 9 I was free and that I could be anything I wanted to be. But that was short lived once whatever the fuck his name was kept putting his hands on me. His touch wasn't to make me feel important or special, it was to control and manipulate me, and it worked. I lost control of who I was and who I was destined to be. And instead, I hid and developed all these personalities. Do you know what it's like to grow up and not know what your purpose is? Do you know what it feels like to encounter disappointment after disappointment and not be able to share? Do you know what it feels like to be stripped of your innocence and have to play like it's intact? No, do you know what it feels like to die only to be found and brought back? See, probably born as a goody two shoes. But when the lights went down, that's when my baggage began to accumulate. No longer looked at as a precious jewel, more like a promiscuous play date. Yeah, doors was open, but not to expensive restaurants with steaks. See, all I got was a hood pass to a room full of brothers trying to molest me and a brand new set of fucking insecurities to face. Have you ever lived a moment? Nah. Have you ever survived a moment or tried to size a moment up, wondering if it made you stronger or led you corrupt? See, abandoned by my innocence, or in a sense that I leave it, creating a level of dysfunction. So when I'm actually in something that functions, is that why I don't seem to fit? So when you try to piece that function with dysfunction, I usually appear counterfeit. And I know my emotions are legit, but when I try to cope with it, I become motionless. Engulfed in a sea of hopelessness, I drift into a world of lies, drowned out cries, and materialistic bullshit. I don't struggle with questions like, am I not hot, or am I attractive? The real question is, why is it I that keeps attracting from my own damn value? Now who's acting? And I get it. I'm referred to as a queen, and my melanin reigns supreme. But I find it tragic that sometimes I can't even tap into my own Black girl magic. See, my eyes are awake, and I will no longer be broken. If you're feeling what I'm spitting, just imagine the words of little girls and women bodies left unspoken, left unspoken, left unspoken. That's the piece.
Very important piece. Very important piece. Yeah, did a marvelous job. You gave it a voice. And, I was a forensic nurse examiner for 15 years and examined many, many victims of assault, molestation, children, adults, domestic violence, all crime and violence, really. And so heard a lot of stories.
Yes.
And definitely needs a voice. So thank you for doing that.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Needed to be heard. So we have some more comments. Somebody says, "Hi, ladies," but don't know who it is. And hey, Brandy Smith. I think someone's talking to her. And then speak, Anisha Wright. Yes.
Thank you.
And amazing queen. Proud of you. Very good. Very good. So you got some of your peeps here today. So it's good. It's good. So this is a question I ask everyone that comes on here, and you will be no exception. And that is, tomorrow you come across Aladdin's lamp, and you are granted 3 wishes. You can wish for anything you want in the world. Doesn't matter what it is. What are your 3 wishes?
3 wishes. Oh, this is tough. One, I would wish for the missing pieces of my family back. 2, I would wish. Shoot, what would I wish? Oh God. This is a hard one. Okay, 2. Fun one. I would wish to be rich. Yeah, rich. Definitely.
Yeah, everybody usually goes humanitarian. I'm like, I'd be asking for some money. Then I could.
Disclaimer though, I'd say I'd wish to be rich without all the other stuff that comes along with it, the negative parts of it, the drama.
Yeah.
The last thing I would wish for is just good health. Good health.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, when you have your health, you have everything. Great wishes. Great wishes. Do you get a lot of support from your family as far as your poetry and your performing is concerned?
They try. I'll say they try. My family, of course, sometimes, my chosen family, yes, my chosen family are very, very supportive.
By chosen, are you referring to people also within the community?
Yes, like my chosen
Yeah.
family within the community.
Yeah.
Right now, because I live like further away from my actual family, so it makes it kind of hard. But I will say, my brothers, my siblings, whenever I have anything, if I put on a show or I do my plays, they definitely tend to try to make it. They will sneak up on me and surprise me. So I love that about them. My aunts, I have a few of my aunts that have came and showed up And even if they don't show up, they'll purchase a ticket and tell me to do a giveaway. So they're very supportive. Um, when I say my core family, you know how that goes, core family, definitely, and my chosen family. So yeah, they're very supportive of me, and I appreciate them for that.
Good. Is there someone or a group, something or someone that you can really put your finger on as far as really influencing you in your writing and your style and the path you've taken with it?
Ooh. Actually, I can't. Okay. So because because people tend to love giving others labels, um I'm a big fan of erotic art. Okay. So one of my favorite writers to date is Zane. And so if I had to characterize my pen, then and I don't put myself in a box because I do a plethora of everything, right? But just like how I did the first poem, Undefined, people will say, oh, you make a mad poem sound sexy. I guess it's just a tone. But
Yeah.
I like to say that I call myself the Zane of poetry. Um, I just love, like, with her books, not even so much as her content, it's just how unapologetic of a woman she is in her writings.
And who are
And
you talking? Who are you referring to?
Zane, she's a female author. So
Okay. How do you spell her name?
Zane.
Okay, because we have a Zan. I don't know. Do you know Zan at all? Zan
I
Johns.
I've heard of Zan. Mm-mm.
She's great. Yeah. She's reminds me of Maya Angelou, and she's just really
Maya is
great.
also one of my influences. I grew up definitely the unapologeticness in her tone when it came to poetry. Her being unapologetic definitely fueled me. So she is definitely one of those that I tend to model my unapologeticness after, with the things that I say, how I say it, how I carry myself. Because even though she was an activist, her poetry went many different ways that one wouldn't even expect. She could go from sultry to in your face to I'm gonna talk noise to she's political. So she is
Yeah.
definitely one of my influences. Her, and also this one may be a little different because I am kind of a little bit weird too in that sense. But I love Emily Dickerson. Her poetry as well was
Yeah.
also influenced me in coming up as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the important thing, as far as poets are concerned, that we have a voice, and we lend our voice to those issues or things, whatever it may be, whether it's about nature or if it's about an issue, that there are no limitations, and
Right.
that yeah, I think that's the beautiful thing about poetry. And I think that we have a power of enlightenment. We can enlighten people as far as maybe their viewpoints. They may have thought one way before, but then you're able to take them on your journey
Yes.
and view things in your eyes, and you know, and people can change their minds and their mindsets. So it's a beautiful thing. So we have someone said that is hard, the three wishes.
Yes.
You did well. You did well with it. It is. There's so many things I could probably go bump, bump, bump. Sometimes we get people on here, they'll say, my last wish is three more wishes. So, and then and Ava says, I love your three wishes. Great show. Ava says, thank you. thought you were going to be at work, Avon. You weren't going to be able to come to this. That's super that you have that support, indeed. So thank you for all your comments. We appreciate it. Appreciate your being here too. So, so tell me, if you could be an animal, what animal would you choose, and why?
An animal. Which animal would I choose? I'm pretty sure I got asked that before, and I probably didn't know the answer then either. But probably, um, probably a lioness. I would say a
Yeah.
lioness. Only because
Mhm.
one, they will protect their cubs like nothing before. I think they're even more aggressive sometimes than the actual male lions, of course. And they just walk around. I don't know. They just walk around like, I don't know, like they own every damn thing. I don't know. But a lioness, that's
Yeah,
all time.
I
And they're
gotcha. Kind of like,
strong. They're very strong, and they're fast and things of that nature. But probably strong, and because they're very overprotective beings. And I'm
yeah.
often being told that that's me. I'm strong, and I'm very overprotective.
Yeah. That's great qualities, so don't give them up. So, is there anything that you think that we can do within our community to promote poetry? There's so many things, but I think on a grand scale, it's still unappreciated within our society. What do you think that we can do to promote poetry within our society?
So, because I am one of those that believe in being, again, outspoken and unapologetic about poetry, some of the things that some of me and other poetry friends have done is we've done uh, pop-ups. Like you catch people at malls and fairs where they just do pop-up performances. We do those all the time, and we're very unapologetic because one, it draws in a crowd because one, they're trying to figure out what we're doing, and then once they start listening, then they're tuned in. So definitely doing more, pop-ups in places, just, bringing the people in to poetry. And
Yeah.
I like doing more poetry festivals. Will also bring awareness to poetry. Um, One of the things I don't do typical plays. It's already coined, they're called playatries. So they're short mini plays, but they're based off in poetry. So, um, and that helps because it gives people something different. It's an actual show. You're getting quality, and you're getting a chance to hear the perspective from the actors, which I only deal with poets. So I give poets a voice, whether I write or they write for their role. And in the grand scheme of things, overall, we're on stage and people get to hear and see and experience poetry in a different light and in a different sense, because
Mhm.
you may see plays and shows and they do musicals and things like that, but not often are you seeing it highlighted with people doing poetry. So that was my contribution to the community, with putting poetry in the forefront, and dealing with poets. So one of the things that I'm doing, one of my shows, shameless plug, it's called Poe MZ, which spells out poems, but it's Poe MZ. That will be going on February 17th, 2024, here in Nashville, Tennessee. So if you're passing through or you want to get your tickets, you can go to my website, which is www.epiphaniesimagination. You spell imagination the same way it's spelled, just without an I, you replace it with an E. Epiphaniesimagination.com for the tickets for that. Um, but yeah, it gives you something different, And I feel like whatever we do, poetry definitely needs to be pushed more. I mean, we had Jay Ivy opened up, winning a Grammy. So that category has been
Yeah.
opened up for us. So now the world is getting what's been here all along right in front of their faces, but we're making it more prominent. So
Yeah.
they can't
So
ignore
you're really innovative too, and you're
that.
really creative in your ways to promote. Sounds like you're doing those things yourselves,
Mhm.
and we're probably of a very like mindset. And after the show, we need to meet because I'll discuss an initiative with you.
Okay.
So that's yeah, I love that you're involved in all that and that you're trying to expand it because I am too. But it seems like whatever we do, it is not on a big enough level. And we'll talk about that later some more. But kudos to you and all you do. The pop-up thing I love. I had not heard of that. I just love it.
Oh yeah.
So that's great. Love it. If I did it here in Roanoke, Virginia, they'd look at me like I was cray cray. So
Hey, you
I
got
swear
flash
they
mobs everywhere. So flash poetry. They'll
yeah.
stop. They're gonna first they may look and think you're crazy, but once they start hearing you, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, come on everybody. So it
Yeah,
works.
yeah, I love it. Love it. I'm gonna have you do. I want you to do two pieces. We're kind of coming down to the end of it, but I want people to really hear more of your wonderful works, and you do whatever you want to do, and then we'll come back and chat. And it's been such a pleasure to have you.
Thank
So I'm going to give the stage back to you.
you. Two more people. Okay. So I tend to try to do a range of my poetry, just so you can get a feel of everything that I do. Not only, I do seriousness, but and motivational. And again, I also tend to do, a little bit of erotic pieces too. So let's see, what can I do? They said God would bring your king to you. Well, what's wrong with me meeting him halfway? What if he's traveling the road less traveled and becomes confused? What's wrong with me leaving him little clues to help him on his way? If kings are supposed to sow their royal oats, then what's wrong with me being his gardener? Surely he's been scattering about this the wrong way, and my tools will help keep him grounded. Isn't the queen supposed to help cultivate? Yet, many of my Nubians fall prey to societal norms, thinking their tongues hold the key to what they feel is success. Now, I love my kings and all, but success isn't what's under our dresses, and to be honest, we've seen enough and our locks unimpressed. Now, I know some of my sisters may lack structure and make it easy for dominance to take over. Not saying queens like myself are difficult on purpose. We just want you to see that if you pull back each layer, you will find substance. See, queens like myself are the last ones picked, and that's cool. We may not be for you, but I feel my king's pen right for me, and our souls can't help but drift accordingly until our quills meet mentally. The feeling be so heavenly and divine that hell has no choice but to bow down because he's just that hot to me. They say what you put out into the universe, you'll receive back tenfold. Well, excuse me for being a little picky and also a little bold, but I want him tall enough to reach my heart, strong enough to uplift me when I'm falling off, meek enough to know when to let me assist, and smart enough to know that both our lives matter. So when he feels my hand on his shoulder, he will cease and desist. I want him asthmatic when he sees me because he thinks my beauty takes his breath away. And last but not least, I want him deeply rooted in seduction because he knows his staff holds much power and it'll help this dominant to obey. Ladies, I ask you, got a king? So the title of that poem was King. Trying to think of what's another way to go. With that. Let me look here just to see which direction to go. Ooh, ooh. Okay. So this is a piece I have called Normalcy. I have the tendency to see the cloud before it sees me. I start feeling the pain long before it sets in. And because being strong is all the norm I've ever had to be, my vulnerability lies within my pen. You see, I came from normalcy, where the infliction of pain runs so deep, no need to get used to happy endings. That only happens in fairy tales and fantasies. See, my reality is plagued by I love you and death. To death do us part was my normal concept. So what seems unnatural and unfortunate to you is normal to me. I never asked to carry the weight of being the strong one. I must carry it so well that even in my brokenness, I can't even get a shoulder to lean on. You see, I came from normalcy, where letting go is not easy, where lashing out and screaming was the thing to do, where hurt people, so it's best to hurt them before they hurt you. See, chained up deep freezers, food stored behind closed doors, feeding my father through my bedroom window where he slept on after working all week trying to provide for us four. But that's normal. See, I'm a mixture of Bible toting, scripture quoting, suicidal genocides. Yeah, you may think I'm a little messed up because you'll never know where my sanity lies. But I came from normalcy, and ain't a damn thing normal about it. That's the piece.
Wonderful. Loved it. That was great.
Thank you.
It has been such an utter pleasure to have you tonight and to listen to you perform. And you're a true, wonderful spoken word artist.
Thank
And like I said, when I grow up, I want to be just like you.
you.
So, but thank you for gracing our presence tonight and sharing your insightful and very colorful performances. You know, it's wonderful to watch you and truly entertaining. And glad that our paths crossed. That's for sure.
Appreciate
We can
you.
thank the Black Widow for that, probably.
Shout out to Black Widow. Yeah.
I love her. She's a great person. I
She
interviewed her quite some time
coming
ago.
from the retreat, so
She told me about the retreat. Yeah, and so you have her to blame if I actually show up. You
hey,
think,
all are
why
welcome.
did you, why did you invite Annette of all people? Shaking your head. And I promise I wouldn't steal the best room or anything like that. Thank you for doing that piece. Thanks for doing that piece with me too. That was
That was
great.
fun. That was
So somebody said great interview and show. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for coming here. Proud of you, Epiphany. We love to have you, Annette Tarpley. Well, thank you. Just for that, I just might have to show up. Maybe that's why some work came up this weekend, so I can go. So I would
yeah.
love to go. It would be great fun. So, but thank you so much, and come bless us with your gifts again.
Thank you. Thank you. I sure will. Thank you for having me. Hopefully, if any other women poets are here, hey, just look for the event page. The flyer, it is for us, by us, all women. We don't discriminate. We'd love to have you. So Hey, join us
Yeah.
on the retreat. We're gonna have a good time.
We're discriminating a little bit because we're not letting a man come in, but that's great. That's a great thing. Shh. Love that. Love it's a woman empowerment kind of thing. Nothing better than having a bunch of fun women around. So that's great. But love and blessings to everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Epiphany. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Love and blessings.